Member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People, because I really enjoy working for fans of the Carolina Panthers. And want to ask you to do me a favor right now. Hit the like button. Help us. I think every video that we do should be at least 100 likes, right? So hit that. It helps other Carolina Panthers fans find out about us. And subscribe if you're new, if you're watching and you enjoy it. You'll see we got a guest on tonight. I also go to have football players on. I think, who do we have last? Terrace Marshall. And have other guys lined up. The bigger I grow, the more it helps me to get those players on the show that you all love to do. And you know me, I bring them to you so that you can interact with them, all right? Today, without further ado, let me see if I can correctly bring in my co-host. He goes by the name of Andre Cassidy. How's it going?
What's going on, everybody? Hope all of you are doing well. I'm doing just fine, Chris, and I can't wait to spend the next hour with you and our very special guests here tonight.
Yeah, so our special guest will not be on at 7 o'clock. That's how special she is. She needed a little bit of time to make sure she could join us tonight. So at 7:30, Vashtai Hurt of the Carolina Blitz will be joining us, and I can assure you, you will be entertained when she comes on. Informed and entertained, I should say, not just entertained. So that'll be cool. Let's go ahead and give some shout outs. Actually, you know what? Because we're here and we started on time.
Yeah.
What about a few applause? And you know what? Before you guys even start to get on me, I will add to the sound effects repertoire here. Just felt like there was some other more important things to do before I added to that. But we'll add some more sound effects. Here, I think I got a 14-month-old baby sound effect. Listen for it. Here it goes. And he's quiet, of course. He's quiet.
Now he's camera shy.
Let's go ahead and also plug the super chats. All right, we hadn't talked about them much, and they died down. And we are independent media, supported 100% by you guys. Our memberships will be starting because I want to be able to continue to bring you a good product and actually improve the product. And you guys, we're viewer supported, 100% viewer supported. So anytime that you can contribute, $1, whatever, please do. But again, likes, subscriptions, free, and help just as much as well. So Lonzo says, what's going on, Chris? Appreciate you, Lonzo. And AJ Lindsay saying, what's up, Chris? And then they're forgetting about you tonight, Andre. But, you know, sometimes they're a little delayed, you know.
Right.
She says, what's up? And let me also go ahead and plug this. Do you want to plug the live reason, Andre? Or you want me to do it?
You got this, man.
All right.
It. You're the plugging guy.
All right. Let's see if I can hit the right button. Screen just on me. We go live on all of our videos for one particular reason. That is to be interactive, to be engaging. We're the only sports show that is always live, that will always take your questions. That's a credentialed member of the media. So there's a link in the description. Click on that link. We give precedence or favor to those who click on the link, come on the show, vent, ask your question, but it's fun. You know, you guys get to meet us, but we want to be interactive, right? And that's why this show is titled Ask Me Your Carolina Panthers Questions, all right? So hopefully that wasn't too bad of a plug. Hopefully I did all right. I still got to figure out how to switch the screens. I want to be on the left side of the screen, and you're supposed to be on the right. And I'm going to figure that out.
It's a work in progress, but like Chris said, this is all about you guys out there who are tuning in. So definitely do not hesitate to use that link below in the description to make your feelings be known because, hey, there's a lot of positivity to be had after a game like yesterday.
Oh, you know what? There's probably an echo going on, Andre. I didn't put on my earpiece, and nobody said anything, so maybe it's not too bad of an echo.
Well, I didn't notice, so I guess that's a good thing, right?
But let me put on my earpiece before it does become something that's noticeable. So again, live TV.
They calls you out on it.
All right, so don't talk right now because I'm not going to hear what you're saying without the earpiece missing. I should have my smoking hot wife come in here and put this earpiece in for me. But she is not within earshot, I don't think. So I got to do it myself.
She's holding down the fort down there.
She is, man. We got a We got a family trip coming up, man, Andre. We got a road trip. That's what I'm doing on the bye week. I'm driving
Okay.
what we call Boy Kingdom. So all three of my sons, 22, 10, and 14 months, and my smoking hot wife. If you guys watch some movies, you know why I say smoking hot wife. But we're gonna drive about 9 hours
Wow.
to Ohio, and yeah, we got our concerns, but we're just gonna hope that it's just the greatest family experience ever of like the joy of the road trip.
Right.
Anyway, I won't spend this talking about me. Let's go through some more shout outs. I don't know if I hit this one already, but Josh says, "What's up, Chris and Andre? Keep pounding." Chance
Going on,
Hines,
Josh.
Victory Monday. Yes, it is. I should put on my Victory Monday shirt. I wonder if my wife can hear me. She probably can't. She probably will say, "Where is it? Where is it?"
But hey, it would be a great day to wear it because, I mean, I don't know if we're going to have a whole lot more opportunities moving forward, but nevertheless, it's a good day to be able to do that.
I truly would run and go get it, but I have a button-up shirt, so I can't just rip this off and put it on. So I'm sorry. Anyway, let me stay focused. I'm still excited from winning yesterday, right?
Same here. I mean, that's how I was yesterday in the postgame show. I was veering all over the place and couldn't stay focused on one thing, but it's all positive energy that we're feeling right now.
Hey, are you on YouTube able to see how many likes we have so far?
Yeah, let me roll over real quick.
How many likes do we have right now?
We are at a solid 8.
8.
A solid 8 likes.
I'm not talking any further until we get to 10 likes.
We got to keep that number rolling, man. So continue to do your job out there, fellas. Keep on smashing the like button because we do this for you, for all of you out there who are tuning in.
My little man's trying to break down the door. Donna B
That's
says,
probably why you're getting some likes right now. It's because of your little man.
Did we get up to 10 yet?
Let's see. Oh, we're up to 13 now. So
see, that's what I'm talking about. I like this.
People are listening.
They are listening and tuning in, and hey, I appreciate it. Again, there's a link in the description. I made it easy. I listened to your feedback, and you guys say, "Hey, Chris, why don't you put a link in the description so we don't have to search through the comments?" So that's there. Click on it and join us and ask your questions. So, looking fresh and clean in Victory Monday shirt. So Donna has her shirt on. Good. Matt Knows Nothing says K Pasa. AJ Lindsay, sorry about that, Andre. You weren't on yet, so what's up, Andre?
What's up, AJ? Hope you're doing well, man.
All right, well, you know what? I want to play a few things. So you guys, please keep your comments coming. I even learned to hit the mute button on the burp so you guys didn't hear that. See, I'm in it. I'm on it.
You were learning on the fly, man.
We're going to do a few things. And also, you guys, again, Vashtai Hurt from the Carolina Blitz does a lot of great reporting. She's going to be on shortly in about 22 minutes. So also go ahead and start leaving your questions because when she comes on, we're going to give her the floor to answer some of those questions. But I didn't load things up properly before the video started, but I'm going to share some things that I wanted to talk about today. So, Andre, I was feeling it today, man. Press conference started with Coach Steve Wilkes, and I'm like, hey, Chris Jenkins, man of the people, I got several questions.
Weren't you first?
That was me. I was first.
Yeah.
I think you inspired me because you said yesterday, our little off-camera talk about when there's an opportunity, what do you choose? To go first.
You go first.
Go first.
Yes.
So I went first, and let me see if I can grab some of these clips. And that's what we're going to talk about for a split second until Vashti comes on. And that is the one part that I did not get ready before the show, but I will get ready. Let's see here. Where did I put it? That's the other part, right? Chris, where did you put the audio that you just downloaded?
And didn't you, wasn't it like 3 questions that you asked today, if I wasn't mistaken? I counted 3.
You counted 3? Hey, you know what?
I was able to watch a good bit of it.
I think technically it was 4. A little bit of a high for me on a Monday. I don't usually get into that many questions. I usually save all of my questions for the locker room, but I knew the locker room would be kind of empty today. And sure enough, hey, again, you know what I like to do? I like to give you guys some behind the scenes on the job, let you know what it's like covering the Carolina Panthers. So we get Steve Wilkes first, and then we get to go in the locker room once they let us know that we can go. And we're kind of like, hey, guys may be gone by the time we get in there because they're off. They're off until
Right.
next week. And we get in there, and I'm just going to say this thing. It was a very relaxed environment for those that were in there.
Okay.
Very relaxed. I'll tell you off camera more. Not that it's bad, but, I just want to respect some of the things there. And there was a handful of guys. I think some more guys came in there later on that they were finishing up some meetings before they could come into the locker room. But, I had things to do. I was trying to get in there and get out. Wasn't too successful in doing that. So anyway, I went ahead and talked to my man Steve Wilkes, a.k.a. Denzel Washington.
Oh, man.
About some of the things that were going on. And first thing I'm going to share with you is me talking to Coach about starting quarterback. He made Andre so happy yesterday when he immediately named Sam Darnold the starting quarterback for Seattle. He said, Chris, you're going to have the best trip of your life. You're going to get to see Sam Darnold live on the West Coast. And I was like, yeah, that's great. But nevertheless, and that echo should be gone now again. I didn't realize Andre is terrible. I'm just messing. We're in good moods. If you're in a good mood, just hit the like button. Hit the like button. All right. So here's Chris Jenkins, a.k.a. Man of the People. I'm joking. Talking to Coach Wilkes about his quarterback situation. Here we go. Give me one moment, and boom. Sam, you're starting quarterback pretty quickly yesterday without having to think on that. What went into that quick decision?
It's not so much a quick decision. It was more like maybe a quick announcement. There's a lot of times that even with PJ, I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't express it at that particular time. But when you just talk about Sam himself and his performance yesterday, I thought he did a great job in really orchestrating and running the offense. Good things for us getting outside the pocket, utilizing his feet, and still having his eyes down the field to try to convert. So I thought he did a good job in really communicating with the protections and making sure that we were in the right looks at times. So just overall orchestrating the offense.
And will Baker continue to be your backup?
Right now I'm waiting to see exactly where we are from a standpoint of PJ being healthy, and then we'll evaluate that situation as it occurs.
So there you have it. Since I asked the question, and this show's all about the people, I'm going to let you comment on that. But I will say this. It wasn't so quick. It was just that you were just now knowing more quickly. Why, Steve? I should have asked him why. When did you know? Was it during the game, or did you already know before the game that as long as Sam didn't screw it up? But again, Andre, quick comments before we go ahead and tackle all these comments that are coming. You guys are doing great with the comments. I see Lauren Reese. Lauren, please, if you have a second.
What's up, Lauren?
If you have a moment before we get off, click on the link in the description, Lauren, and join us and ask some kind of questions. But go ahead, Andre, if you want to have a comment on that.
Yeah, well, I wonder when that moment clicked in for him, like when that decision was made. Like, was it after to throw to DJ Moore for the touchdown there in the second quarter? I don't know what moment it was that kind of signified that decision, but it was a pretty easy decision, with the way that he played yesterday, with PJ still being iffy health-wise and Baker Mayfield not really doing himself any favors. I mean, you got to roll with the hot hand in that situation there.
All right. So again, keep those comments coming. We're going to get to them. I just got a few more clips that I want to share with you guys because I was on it in the press conference today.
You sure were.
Yeah. So as you heard about my plans for the bye week, we're going to be driving nice little SUV up to Ohio with lots of precious cargo. Coach, what do you want your team doing during the bye week? And let me just go ahead and share that response. How much do you want these guys to disconnect over this bye week?
I just told those guys, get away, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your time with your family and friends. Be smart, don't be that guy. Understand the situation that we have in front of us, which I still feel like we have an opportunity to do what we want to do within this division. So I want them to decompress, get away, enjoy themselves, but also come back focused and ready to work.
All righty. Andre, any comment on that one?
Yeah, I think this is the time. You're at that point in the season, kind of in the latter stretch of the year, a late bye week. So, it's understandable that the guys, could use some rest and just get away for a little bit. This has been quite a year, a lot of highs and lows that they've been going through. A lot has happened over the course of this year. So this is really a great opportunity for everybody on the team to just go and get away and just reset for the last 5 games of the year.
Lauren's saying that it never pops up when she's on the phone. She can't see the link. All right, Lauren, this is what I'm going to do for you and everybody out there, because we work for everybody. I am going to put the link in the comments right now. Actually, I'm kind of not too sure how to do that, but I'm gonna. I don't know how to leave comments from where I am, but
yeah.
Actually, all right, give me a second. I'm gonna put the link in the comments. I would ask Andre to do it, but he might not show up like I'm going to show up. So I'm gonna hear like all kinds of noise in my ear in just a split second as I'm listening to 2 audios. But I gotta.
And I will text her the link as well too, so
here we go.
Have both avenues.
Join us.
See
live.
if that works. Wait, hold
all
on.
right, I just put it on there, and I hope you guys appreciate it because I just heard myself talking twice, and it sounds weird, but it's there. It's there. All right, so let's go ahead and go through one more. My man Brian Burns, Spidey. He talked yesterday about, man, everything was just working for me. Every move. He said, if you go back and look at that tape, I was putting guys on their backs. And so I talked to Coach Steve Wilkes about that. And before I played that, let's see, Lauren says she's in a guest room. Then she went away. So let me play the response to Coach talking about the play of Brian Burns yesterday. All right, here we go. Coach on Brian Burns' play yesterday. Brian yesterday mentioned that it seemed like every move for him was working yesterday. What did you see when you look back at the tape of his performance yesterday?
Just his speed and quickness off the edge. I think he does a great job in really trying to mix his different moves up. Sometimes he tries to beat you with speed, and then it's speed to power, and then it's a spin move. I think he's effective with all of those, and it was great to see him get into double digits.
There we go. Coach said, great to see him get into double digits. Makes you think of the middle child I had. He just turned 10, so he's in the double digits. All right, let's see if we can get this first video host to come on to the show, unless they are having some internet issues. But as we see if they're going to pop up completely, I think, I see a thumbs up there. So,
okay.
Let me see if I can do this right here. And then let's see if I can do this right here. What? Behold. Are you muted?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, we can hear
you.
What's up?
Car, so I don't have great lighting or great audio probably. But
You do have great audio. You do have great light. When you're Lauren Reese, it just everything great just travels with you. So you're good. You're good to go.
Well, I just figured I'd pop on and say hello since I'm on every week and I've never been able to get the link. So, hello everyone.
Yeah.
Well, hello.
Hey,
How
Andre.
goes it?
But
are you enjoying this Victory Monday?
here I am. But I'm in the car, so I guess that's not going to work out very well. Full on the freeway. I'm not driving though, so.
We figured as much that you weren't driving.
Yeah.
Hey, there's the driver. That guy looks like he'll keep you safe.
Oh, always. 24/7.
Don't mess with her driver.
So how
Yeah,
do you
would
guys
not
feel?
be a smart decision.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk any football, or you just want to jump on and say hello really quick?
No, I'm sure. How are you guys feeling about the win?
Well, that's what we want to know from you. Like, let's see. I'll take one, and then Andre, we'll let Andre throw you one.
Yeah.
Steve Wilkes has now won 3 games as head coach. Do you think that Mr. Wilkes should get the opportunity to coach this team next year? Or
I
does
don't
he
know. I
need to do a
think
little bit more?
from the teams that we beat, I don't necessarily think that that's a. To me, I don't think that's a giveaway of like, yes, he should still coach, because given the Broncos and how they've played this year and how they've played in the last few years, they're not great. They haven't been. So I wouldn't say that yesterday's win was necessarily like a huge win. But I don't think that it's a guarantee like he should be back just by the 3 games that we've won. But that's just my opinion.
Hey, and if I may just say, I agree with you. I feel like he's on the right path, but not enough yet to say, let's do it. But he's on the right path, in my opinion. Andre, you're up.
Yeah, so he has made some marked improvements on the team. I want to talk about the quarterback position, Lauren. I know you have your thoughts on the whole situation. Do you think Sam Darnold will lock up the position for the rest of the season? Of course, he had a pretty good game on Sunday. Do you think that will be the trend moving forward?
I feel like with the way that he played, it's the best option to go with, considering the way Baker has played in the previous games, and then with obviously injuries with PJ and everybody else. So I feel like yes. Do I feel like he's the quarterback for Carolina? Absolutely not. So I guess we'll have to see what happens with the rest of the season. There's still a lot of games to be played, but as of now, I'd say yes. I think they're going to stick with him given the way that he played yesterday.
Oh,
Do you think PJ Walker gets into the mix if he does get back healthy? Do you think he could potentially take that spot away from him?
I don't know if he could take it away from him. I think he'd give him a good run for his money. I've always been a fan of PJ. I don't think he's necessarily the most consistent quarterback, but I think that he did well when he needed to step up and perform for the team. But yeah, I guess maybe you could say he'd give him a run for the way that he played before. But if Sam continues to play the way that he did yesterday, I think they'll continue to stick with him.
hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans across America, that is the voice and face that you're familiar with, known as Lauren Reese. Appreciate you jumping in to say hello. Feel free to jump on anytime in the future, each and every Monday during the season, 7 p.m.
Miss International, as they call her.
That's me, Miss every state, all around the world. Well, like Mr. Worldwide, I'm Mrs. Worldwide. So
There we go.
Yes.
So let me add 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time so that no matter where you are, you can make sure that you're tuning in at the right time.
I try. Sometimes I'm in opposite time zones, so I lose track of what time you guys are going live. But I try to get in every week.
All right, we'll talk to you later, and tell that driver he's doing a darn good job. That car, you haven't bobbled or shook at all. That's like the most best driver.
He's the best driver of all. 15 out of 10.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
All right, be well, Lauren. Nice seeing you.
Take care. Bye.
That was pretty cool.
The one and only Lauren Reese right there for y'all.
The one and only. All right, so let's go ahead and I think we got through everything in terms of my videos that I had. Let's go ahead and go through some of these comments. And you out there watching, there is one link in the comments. Just scroll up. You'll see the only comment from Charlotte Vibe that says join us. Click on that. Come on. Love to hear you ask a question or vent. And meanwhile, we'll go through all these comments that we have here. So let's go to the one that was last from Chance Hines. Do you think Sam can play himself into a backup role? That's an interesting way to put it. So that's basically saying, is Sam going to screw up? But before you answer that, no, you go ahead and answer that. Let me talk on it first. Let me be clear in saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
that you know, I'm personally challenged by Sam. I just feel like he could be on the verge of disaster. And and because he's done that to us so many times in the past, that's why I'm a little bit shady towards Sam. But did he play a good game this past Sunday? Absolutely, he did. He had 0 turnovers. He threw for a touchdown. He had over a 100 quarterback rating. And I feel like a lot of that is still dependent on the success that we're going to be having offensively. As Lauren stated, and many of you may realize, like, I'm not saying it wasn't a good victory, but we beat a 3-8 team. And things are going to probably get tougher. And that's where we're going to see the challenge. And just from a consistency standpoint, I think about if things go awry with Sam, then it's like we're out of opportunities to be like, well, hey, try this guy. Well, hey, try that guy. Well, hey, we've pulled everybody at that point, and you just will be pulling out your hair. So do I think Sam can play himself back into that role? Absolutely, I do. I hope he doesn't, from the sake of all of our sanity. But I'll give it to you, Andre.
Sam Darnold is not a table setter. He needs the table to be set for him in order to play like he did yesterday. What was the one thing that they were able to do yesterday? They were able to run the ball, and they were able to control the line of scrimmage. He's not that guy where you can depend on him to be the leader of an offense and to carry a team on his back. He just simply isn't. And yesterday, they didn't have to rely on Sam Darnold too much to be that guy. He needs the table to be set in front of him. I'm making a reference to Thanksgiving since we are here on a Monday after Thanksgiving. But that table needs to be set. And there are plenty of teams out there over the next couple weeks who can upend the table setting. So he definitely has that potential. Like you said, Chris, he can be a ticking time bomb in terms of, you know, the mistakes that he could make. But unfortunately, I hate to say it, there is that potential where he could be back in a backup role if things go awry.
Hey, I forget the amount, but this was certainly one of the most in our franchise history. 46 rushing attempts yesterday. 46 rushing attempts. Now we did good. We still had 19 pass attempts, so it wasn't like it was only 5 or 6. And then we killed it on time of possession. I'm trying to find it really quickly here.
37 minutes, I believe.
37 minutes to 22, or basically 23. All right, 23 and 37. Yeah, we haven't had a game like that all season where we've been able to dominate time of possession. Now, I think even when we beat the Bucks, I can actually quickly get that in front of me. We beat the Bucks pretty bad in week 7, and time of possession was split. It was pretty much dead even back then. So this was an outstanding results game for us by far. Let me jump down because you guys are listening, man, and I appreciate it. And you know, Andre and I are so determined to do what we do and get better at it and continue to service you. So having the resources to do that helps. We got what is our biggest super chat.
Oh man,
I would say maybe top of the season here. $20 from my man Fred McGee, contributing to our channel, being able to continue to operate and do what we do. And I appreciate it. You know, I will be traveling to the Seattle game to cover that and bring you live coverage for that as well. These donations help me to do that a lot. So I appreciate you very much, Fred McGee, for that super chat. And thank you for your support.
Absolutely.
Let's continue to work through some of these comments here. I got so much energy, I'm now like about to crash, getting tired. But I'm not going to crash.
Gotta lock back in, man.
I got to lock it back in. All right.
Lock it back in.
I done caught on. Let's see. Omar Tillman was telling me of a little echo, but we got that fixed. My man Anthony Logan says, "What's up, Andre and Chris? Go Panthers!" And this makes me think. I need to hit that mute button so I don't cough. On the way to the game yesterday, I had another precious moment, and it was a fan that recognized Andre and I, and had a little conversation and said they appreciate what we do. So, hey, sincere appreciation to everybody that tunes in. And always, if you see me out and about, feel free to come and say hello. I enjoy meeting everybody that supports the channel and that helps us grow. So don't be hesitant if you see Andre or I doing so. Now, if we're recording live, you may kind of want to wait for your cue to come on in. But otherwise, don't come park your car right next to to where we are.
Oh man, I still can't get over that yesterday. Oh,
hey, tell the story really quick for those who may not have seen that part of the show yesterday.
Yeah, so we were just about to go live for our pregame show yesterday. We were in our parking deck because the weather was a little iffy early yesterday morning, and we had a rather mature, I don't want to say old because old, has a bad connotation to it. A rather mature couple in an SUV come up to Chris and they were like, could we park over here? And we don't want to get into your live shop. The problem was the spot that they were trying to park in was literally right behind where we were about to go live. And so Chris and I were like, hold up. So you're telling me this is the one spot that you decide that you want to park in when you got all these other spots on that level? It blew our minds. It was pretty funny, kind of awe-inspiring in terms of the logic that was being put on display there. But it gave us a little crackle, gave us a little chuckle, but pretty interesting series of events before we got ready to roll yesterday.
It was interesting. It's always
and you handled it pretty well too, Chris. I will say you handled it pretty well. I thought you were going to get a little irked by that
because they then go to park, and instead of going to park where I thought they were going to park, which would be out of the shot, no, he goes to make a 3-point turn and back in, and I had to run like, hey, no, if you don't mind, the other 50 parking spots. If you could take one of those 50 and not one of the 2 that's right beside us, that would be greatly appreciated. And she said, I thought he was going to park over there too. Okay, well, bud.
Oh, yeah, that's what they always say, right? Oh, I thought they were going to do this, yada, yada, whatever. We knew what your intentions were. Don't lie about it, right?
Don't lie about it. Let's see if we have some I think we got the person coming. And I'm going to have fun. Give me a little thumbs up or do a little dance if you're ready for me to bring you on. Oh, she danced. Y'all missed the dance. I'm just joking. She didn't dance. Let's hit the magical button here. See if I do that. Oh, I put her all in there by herself. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen,
Chris.
Boys and girls, fans of the Carolina Panthers, I have the honor of having Carolina Blitz founder, leader, Vashtai Hurt join us for the next 27 minutes. I always respect our guest time. How you doing, Vashtai?
I'm good. Don't lie to the people and tell them I was dancing.
I thought it was. Okay, she wasn't dancing.
No,
she wasn't dancing. How's it going this evening?
It's good. It's been a busy day, but I'm on with you, and it's good.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show. I know you joined us before. This was a little different. This is our big show where we interact with the fans of the Carolina Panthers. And when we have guests on like yourself, we like to give you the floor most of the time to answer the questions, all right?
Okay.
Because they hear from me and Andre all the time, but they don't hear from you at Carolina Blitz. So for those that are watching, go ahead, start hitting that like button for Vashtai and her link to follow her Twitter, which is a very popular place to be. It's in the description. So if you enjoy her and want to support her content, just click on that link in the description. Vashtai, how you doing?
I'm good.
You said you've been having a busy day. Any breaking news that you want to share from that busy day, or just a busy day?
Just, Panthers, personal errands, Just a regular day, gearing up for the ACC championship this weekend. You got Duke that's playing. UNC took 2 L's over the weekend. Got
Two
blown
big
out.
L's.
It's just a typical Monday in the sports world.
Okay. Well, we're just going to jump right in no particular order, picking up some of these comments here. My man Josh jumped on and said, Wilkes, and my voice is struggling here, I'm sorry, but Wilkes already has a better record than Rule ever had. Am I right about that? So I'm going to let you answer that, Vashti, and also just talk about your observations for Wilkes as a head coach and such.
I don't think Wilkes has 5 wins yet. So the team looks better than they've looked under Matt Rule. I like Wilkes. I'm not going to make any apologies for that. I've been open with that. I think he should be the front runner after this season to get the head coaching job permanently. He's basically put the Panthers in a position to compete for a spot in the playoffs, and it's crazy that we're talking about the playoffs given how the season started, but it's a legitimate they have a legitimate chance at making it. This is just, an off year for the NFC South, and if the Panthers can win out at least within the division, then I think they're the division representative. And so everybody in the NFC South is struggling. It's up in the air. And if the Panthers were to make a playoff run, then Steve Wilkes is the guy that you want at the helm.
Okay. I have the burps tonight as well, Vashti, so I apologize for being like all kinds of things are going on with me tonight, but it doesn't regularly happen, I promise.
Okay.
Another.
Who else is on? I can't see him.
Huh?
Who else is on with us? I hear him laughing, but
you don't
I can't
see him.
No.
Well, you might
I
have
don't
to
see you.
You don't see her
Either.
Yeah.
Chris, what's going on, Chris?
I see all 3 people. I'm sorry. So my co-host Andre Cassidy is on with us as well. And
I can see her on the live stream on YouTube, but I can't see her on the eCam view.
Oh, okay.
That we're doing it through. So,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I don't know if I did that on purpose some kind of way, but yeah, it shows me that all 3 of you guys are there. Maybe you have to turn your phone. What are you on, a phone or computer, Vashti?
Computer.
I'm on the computer.
All right, so I guess that proves that I don't know what I'm talking about to help us troubleshoot. That matters. So, yes, I'm sorry. Andre's on, and we'll continue to move through so we can get some questions answered here. So
Yeah.
we talked before about Laviska Shenault and the lack of attempts that he'll get more than 5 yards down the field. And so Leonard Kowalski said, did we ever get an answer of if Laviska will ever run routes beyond the line of scrimmage? So I haven't had a chance to ask anybody directly inside the stadium, but I comment on the fact that Laviska will not get any passes thrown to him more than 5 yards down the field. Why is that?
I don't think that'll be the case, but I don't know. McAdoo has found that screenplay that worked for a touchdown twice, and he continues to go back to it. So I think that's what it is. It's not like the Panthers have had a quarterback who's really airing it out downfield. So we're talking about that. Yeah. So, I think that DJ Moore is your number 1 downfield option, and Laviska is kind of used how Curtis Samuel was used, kind of as a hybrid player. So I would just be mindful of that. He may get his attempts downfield, but right now they're really just running screens for him.
Okay. And then, if I can, I like to highlight, Vashti does a really good job over there. She also gets some of the lighter side of some coverage. It's still relevant and fun relating to football. And I know you had a good conversation. You have plenty of good conversations, but you had one with Brian Burns yesterday about Russell Wilson and stuff like that. So why don't you let those know who are not aware of that great conversation that you had?
Oh, well, we keep our ears to the streets. And shout out to Monty from the 4-Man Rush. He had posted a video of Brian Burns' celebration, which he thought was mocking, trolling Russell Wilson at midfield, kind of, I guess, I don't know, doing what he does, his theatrics. And I had to ask Brian Burns. I actually showed him the video, and I said, "The streets are talking. Is this were you picking at Russell Wilson?" And he said, "Yeah, I trolled him a little bit. It's all love and respect." He definitely got trolled yesterday after Brian Burns sacked him, and I'm not mad at it. I mean, listen. If I'm allowed to get to you and bring you to the ground, I'm allowed to celebrate in whatever way I deem fit. So I
Appreciate it. Andre, of course, if you have anything you want to throw out there before I queue up the next question, feel free to.
Yeah, so let's just take a macro perspective of where things are right now. Of course,
Andre always uses these big words, and I have to ask him to clarify I go to say for the audience, but it's really for me.
Yeah, just from a bigger picture, bigger standpoint, an overarching view, if you will. Of course, back in 2014, Carolina was 3-8-1. That year, the division, like it was this year, is kind of just all over the place. There hasn't been that clear, distinctive favorite. We all thought it was Tampa Bay, but of course they've been having their issues. New Orleans and Atlanta, they're in the air as well. So how realistic of a shot do you feel like Carolina has on going on a pretty significant run here down the stretch and potentially getting that top spot in the NFC South?
I mean, I wouldn't be booking any airplane tickets. However, I think they have a legitimate shot. I mean, you just mentioned there is no team in the NFC South that's really stood out. Tampa Bay, I think, they've lost their last two. The Panthers have already beaten Tampa Bay. Atlanta is struggling. New Orleans just got shut out. So I think the division is wide open. I think the Panthers, of course, they have a legitimate shot at winning the division, just as much as any other team in the division has a shot at winning. So yeah, I wouldn't book flights yet, but I would be optimistic because it's a possibility. And I think it all comes down to quarterback play. That's been the question. Wilkes is dedicated to the run, which I think is good. It helps open things up, and when it comes to play action, Wilkes is dedicated to the run, winning the line of scrimmage in the trenches, and shutting down the long field passes. However, it comes down to quarterback play. Can the quarterbacks protect the football, not throw any interceptions, and make key plays when they need it in order to get touchdowns and turn red zone possessions into touchdowns and not field goals. So that's the X factor right there. Can Sam Darnold, do what he did this past Sunday, and which was just enough to win, or will he start harming the Panthers as his starting days continue?
Hey Vashti, this is a question for you. So regarding Wilkes, obviously right now with the team and the disarray at the quarterback, having a good run game is the way to go. It certainly gives you a pretty good opportunity to win. If, this is a lot of if, but if he's the head coach and if he's able to control things in the offseason, do you think he would continue to make it the emphasis that it is, or do you think he'd go to balance it out a lot more?
Wilkes is old school, and I mean, that's what it is. And he was asked today in his press conference, and that's his philosophy: a good defense and a strong run game offensively. He's not of that new Sean McVay, exciting, we're going to air it out every play. Offensively, that's not how he does things. And I think that there's, it might not be as exciting, but I think that that's still a style of football that can win and win consistently. And he even mentioned that, as a defensive coach, chunk plays are hurtful. And but if you have a team that's running it down your throat, that's demoralizing to a defense. I don't know if he used that word specifically, but that's basically what his sentiment was. And so, yeah, I mean, it might not be what's the judge right now, but there's credence to running the damn ball. I mean, there's running the damn ball, and that's what historically has been successful. And Wilkes is turning around this offense by staying true to that and establishing the run game. And that opens up when you have a quarterbacks who aren't capable, like Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker. They are not Patrick Mahomes type guys. They're not Justin Herbert guys. They aren't Josh Allen type guys. These are guys who may benefit from a strong run game that'll open up the play action. So you have to know your personnel and cater to it. And I think that's what he's doing.
Hey, so again, this is a lot of ifs. With what you just said, I was just thinking, so if he is back next year, does Steve Wilkes, is he a guy that needs to pick a quarterback top 5? Like, does he just need a better, solid quarterback? Does he need a top 5 pick quarterback to continue to build this team and to a winning franchise? Or
I mean, you need a quarterback these days. You can't have what the Panthers have had, a quarterback by committee. That position is important. It's always been important. I think he values that position. He was here, when Cam was successful. So I don't think that he's somebody who, although he's dedicated to the run, he values the quarterback position. I think that it's clear that the Panthers need a franchise guy. If they have a top 5 pick and there's a guy out there who they like, they'll pick him at top 5. But I don't think that, I don't think that they're going to pick anybody just because they're desperate for a quarterback. If a guy is there, if their pick is high enough, a guy is there that they liked based on their draft, their draft order or how they mapped out their draft, then they'll go quarterback. But I don't think that, you can either trade up, you can find guys in free agency, although it doesn't happen as much. So it's up to him and Fitterer to do what's best, but I don't think you press for a guy and then end up in a situation where you draft somebody and then you're looking for another guy 2-3 years later because it doesn't pan out.
Okay.
And also, and I see Big Jordan mentioned Matt Corral. Yeah, he didn't look great in the but he's still a guy who's on the roster. He's still a guy who was drafted this year, and he's out of the boot. He's off of the
that's a big deal right there.
Out of the boot, off of the scooter that I've seen him in the locker room. And last time I saw him out of the boot, I said, "You out of that boot?" And he said, "Yeah." So, there are a lot of things that you have to consider when you're going into that draft.
And
he's rocking a new haircut too, isn't he?
I didn't see the new cut, but I don't know.
It looks like a buzz cut. It's shorter from what I remember it being, right?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't pick up on that.
Hey, Vashta, just to let you know, this channel loves some Matt Corral. I get Matt Corral questions every single week, and not just one. There's tons of them. So you talking about Matt just made a lot of people happy. Let's see.
I mean, it's valid. I mean, you're just not going to throw him out yet. I think it'd be too soon. You have to see what you got. So yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. This looks like something for me. Chris, you have to acknowledge Darnold has never had a good O-line. Okay, because I've been very critical of Sam Darnold, and so I will say he's never had a good offensive line. And I've said before, he did do good this past Sunday, but for me personally, if I take off the professional hat, was just a fan. I don't like how many times he's burned us in the past, and I feel like once things start to go awry, it's just going to be bad Sam that's out there, and I don't look forward to seeing. I want to see a new guy be bad. I've seen enough of Sam being bad, but right now he is doing good. He is doing.
Remember, he's not a table setter.
New guy be bad? No.
I mean, I don't want to see anybody do bad, but I want to see somebody else that hadn't messed up to that extent. Just hit the recycle button and let another guy out there. PJ did pretty good.
PJ did pretty good, but Sam is getting paid, and you're not. Listen, that decision. Trust me, guys. That decision to go roll the dice with and I'm not saying that PJ wasn't injured. He was injured, but that decision to roll the dice with Baker and also Sam Darnold was, I'm paying these guys what, 15, 16, 17, 18 million dollars a year, and PJ is probably at a league minimum, maybe 900 and some $1,000. I'm gonna get my money's worth, and I would too. Like, I'm not gonna pay you that amount of money to sit on the bench when you're healthy. I'm gonna see at least what you can do.
All right, we got another question that came in here. Panther Pickle says, sorry I'm late, but is Cade Mays getting O-line snaps or just fullback snaps? I think he's just getting fullback snaps.
You mean in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just getting fullbacks.
It's actually a good move. Like, even Cam Irving, and y'all, Panthers Twitter roasted Cam Irving last year, rightfully so.
They sure did.
But you know, putting those big guys in that fullback position, I like that move. And if you're going to be committed to the run, then what better than to have a big, 6'5", 6'6" offensive lineman, clearing the way for you. So, Deontay Foreman is, I think at one point, I don't know what he finished with, but he was averaging about 5 yards per carry.
Gotcha. Sorry, I was distracted trying to talk to the family. Let's see. What else we got? We got a lot of stuff coming in here. Mm-hmm. Andre, I'm going to let you throw another one at me.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Pull up the...
Let's talk about the coaching situation, because Matt Rule, a fan favorite here in North Carolina, has a new job in Nebraska. Currently, Andre is on the waiting list to have some representation for his agent, for himself. But Matt Rule has gone to Nebraska, and he's starting to take away some coaches. So how many coaches has he taken? Hold on, buddy. How many coaches has he taken? That's the family that I'm going to let you meet here in just a second. The show we go to. All right, so they said right now we're going to go ahead and have the family on the show. So can you see me, Vashti?
I can see you.
All right, let me see if I can do this here. Hold on. One yesterday mentioned that it's like over here. So I'm assuming you can still see me. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So we talk a lot in the press room about. I'm coming. Look, I'm going to show you the family. This is the no, you're going first, Cam. This is the middle one. He just turned 10.
Hey, come on in, man. Happy birthday, man.
Happy
belated birthday.
Here, I'll let him sit on my. This is the middle one right here. He can't hear you, but I'll tell him what you say. So this is, you can look right there and wave. That's Vashti. She works for Carolina Blitz. You want to ask her a question? You don't have to have one if you don't.
Why you put him on the spot, Chris?
Does she know any players? Give me a little bit different, like, because she knows she has to work with them every day. He just says, "Hey." All right. If you think of one before I get you out of here, that's fine. All right. So let me get your brother in here really quick, but just wave goodbye. All right.
Bye.
She says bye.
See ya, man.
And then here is his baby brother, who's got some things going on. Here we go. You ready? Come on, man. We just now got into tantrums.
Oh, man.
So you might see a tantrum here.
Oh, wow.
This is.
Those cheeks.
How old are you, buddy? Say, I'm 14 months.
Okay.
He said, hi. He's not 14 months? Well, how old is he? 15? He's 14 months. Uh-oh. This
Head
is.
full of hair. I love it.
He does have lots of hair. And he says, hello.
Hello, world.
All right, so there you go, Vashti. Now you got faces with the people I talk about. Thank you guys for coming in here. And we'll
tell you what, that kid is growing.
I
feel like every time I see him, that kid is getting bigger and bigger.
He's definitely getting.
No guys, no kids.
Okay.
Uh-oh,
okay.
We got more.
Look, Cameron, she got. We get to meet her family. What's the name?
Sheba.
Sheba.
She just got her hair done today. So yeah. If she barks, that's because it's what it is. That's what dogs do.
Well, appreciate you sharing. So we were talking about Matt Rule and taking coaches away from Carolina. How many guys has he taken, and what are we going to do to replace these guys that he's taken away?
Well, he's taken a couple of guys. They took most recently the defensive line coach and the assistant strength and conditioning coach, and then the OC from South Carolina. But from the Panthers, those two specifically, I'm actually not. I'm waiting on the announcement about Nixon, who is his guy. But I asked Steve Wilkes about that. He was like, we'll do. Like, I mean, Steve Wilkes is a G. All right, he's gonna roll with what's there, not sweating these guys. He's been around the league for a long time. If he needs to call on some assistance, trust me, he has those. He's being able to do that. And listen, he set the tone off rip when he fired Phil Snow. He was like, "Listen, this is my show. Just so y'all know, there's a new sheriff in town, and if your allegiances were with Matt Rule, peace." And that's what it is. There's no listen. Better opportunities come around. They're not going to hold these guys back if they want to go to Nebraska.
Deuces. All right, so we got about 5 minutes here, so I'm going to try to do a little bit of rapid fire and get through a lot of these comments before we let you go. So we're going to dial up Francisco Bartello. How do you think we'll retain our QB next year, draft or free agency? Either way, who do you think are some realistic options at quarterback?
I mean, Matt Corral will be on the roster. That's the only one I know for sure. I don't. Baker Mayfield is gone. Sam Darnold, depending on what his play is, he's likely gone. I think the Panthers, try to find their guy through the draft, but that may not happen. So I mean, the only guy that I think for sure who will be on the roster when the Panthers go to training camp next year is Matt Corral. I think everything else is up in the air.
Vashti, if they retain Wilkes as head coach, could you see Leftwich coming there as the next offensive coordinator, since Tampa seems to be cooling off on his play calling?
I don't know. I don't know who his guys are. These guys, Wilkes has been in the league for a long time. I think that he's gonna go for a coordinator who is. I mean, McAdoo would be out. I think he will retain DC, who's there now. Al Holcomb, who has been with him as he's gone through. Through the NFL. I think he takes a look at Byron Leftwich. I think he takes a look at Pep Hamilton. I think Pep Hamilton will probably be more of a realistic option. I'm not sure if they're friends, but they're both Charlotte guys, so I know that there's probably a connection there. So I think that Wilkes will hire a guy who has the same philosophy as he does and who will do a good job offensively. But I probably could see Pep Hamilton over Byron Leftwich, but it also depends on, if these guys get head coaching opportunities during the season.
And then we got a little props being thrown your way. She knows her stuff. I agree with her. That old school type of football isn't all that exciting, but it works if you execute well.
That's right.
All right. Andre, you got anything you want to throw there as we try to shift to a few more comments? Lonzo says, shout out to Miss Carolina Blitz with a rocket and some cool shades.
Okay.
Let's see. There's somebody talking about Brandon Smith, Ryan Bean. Do you see that comment there?
Yeah.
Down below. What do you think his future is with the team? And recently drafted in the past off season. What do you think his future is and what he brings to the table?
I mean, we haven't seen him that much. So he's still a rookie right now. He's being utilized more on special teams. But he's flashed, but I can't tell you what his future will be like. The guys who are up, Luvu is having a really good season. Little John is having a decent season. Damian is having a decent season. Shaq, he's getting up there in age. So, I think that they need to have more youth at that linebacker position. I just don't, I don't know where Brandon Smith's role will be. You got to understand that these are guys that Rule drafted basically, and they may not fit. They may not fit Steve Wilkes' philosophy. They may not be guys he would have picked for himself. Rule and Phil Snow were guys who believed in speed, right? I want the fastest guys, and they drafted that way. Wilkes may be a guy who cares more about strength in the trenches. And so, or that, you look at the old school Panthers teams, they weren't necessarily built on incredible strength, but they were very balanced and they had speedy guys and athleticism more so than speed. So we'll see.
Hey, so somebody says, gonna have to follow her. I like her take. So again, appreciate all the comments for Vashti joining. Vashti, I appreciate you taking the time to spend with us tonight, showing the puppy or the dog. I don't know.
Yeah, she's two, but she's small but mighty.
Her way to follow her is in the description. No matter where you're watching this at, the description will have a link to follow Vashti on Twitter, which is a great place to be. She does a lot of good updates frequently, and not just on the Panthers, all other sports as well. But Vashti, I'm going to give you the floor to just close us on anything regarding this Carolina Panthers that we have not yet talked about that you want to share.
Well,
thoughts.
I mean, I'm gonna shout out Wilkes. I just like the guy. I would like to see. I've been told that they necessarily can't hire him mid-season, but if you've been following the Panthers for a while, there's a sense of the old. You want that old thing back, and I think that I'm getting that feeling again. I see Luke in the press box. I see other old players, in the press box during the game. It's just the vibes are better. And to go into the bye with a sense of hope that I think that the team and the fans, especially going into the bye, winning and with an opportunity to potentially make the playoffs. It's a much better feeling than it has been under Matt Rule. And Matt Rule was a nice guy, but he was in over his head, and we have a man as head coach right now.
Hey, I so much appreciate you saying the word vibe. I mean, feel free to say that as many times as you want.
Yes.
Andre, did you have any closing things for Vashti?
I mean, she just hit it right on the dot. The vibe is definitely different. There's a good feeling in the air right now, a reason for hope, a reason for optimism that we haven't felt in quite a while. But yeah, just reiterating what she said, heading into the bye week, there is reason for optimism and a sense of direction, which I don't think we've felt in a while. Despite all the turbulence that we've seen all season with all the acquisitions and all the different moves that have taken place, there is a sense of direction and there's a path. Now, when we hit that path, is that path obtainable? That's something that we'll see as the weeks start to come by here, as we start to get towards the latter part of this season.
I just hope I have a wall once I get out of here. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Bang.
Something's going on. Vashti, thank you so much. You're always invited on.
They're calling for you, man.
We do a pregame show. We do a postgame show. If you're ever bored and want to stop through our live show, please feel free to do so, all right?
All right. Thanks for having me, Chris.
All right, take care.
Thanks for being on.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys.
See ya.
I don't know what's starting to go on outside. It's like, are we already getting excited for the road trip?
There's an after party going on out there outside your studio right now, Chris.
Party one, party all.
Right?
So, unfortunately, we like to stick to our time commitments. We started right at 7. We're going to end right at 8. There's lots more that I want to talk about, but, family's calling. Andre has to go. But let me give some closing words, and I'll let Andre give some closing words.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we won yesterday. It certainly, as you can tell, puts me in a better spirit. It puts everybody in a better spirit. And though it seems like it's something really tough to achieve, it's still something to be like when you wake up next Sunday. Well, in 2 Sundays, it's like, hey, you know what? So we have a chance, right? And that's more of what you want to see that you haven't seen around here. Yes, I would love to get back to the 2015 season and how great that was. But even just getting back to saying, like, this team fights to the end, this team has a chance to win, that's exciting, right? So, Andre, I'm going to let you go ahead and give some closing remarks.
Yeah, so just pick it off where you left or leaving off there. Just again that reason for optimism and that feeling that there still is a chance. That's what Steve Wilkes has done so far for us in this limited time here as the interim, and I think that is part of the reason why he is really putting himself as the front runner for potentially being the head coach moving forward for this Carolina Panthers team. So I'm really feeling the sense of optimism that we're getting right now out of this team, and hopefully this can be sustainable. Because I know for Chris and I, it would be great if Carolina could finally make the playoffs, which we haven't done since 2017.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. So he's Andre Cassidy. I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. We appreciate everyone for watching. The Carolina Panthers do have a bye week. The players are off from today. So barring any breaking big news, we will join you again back on next Monday to continue our coverage of this Carolina Panthers team, who is now officially in the playoff hunt. So everyone enjoy the break, and we'll see you next week.